This is a third part to the Mirai Nikki recap, so if you haven't watched the previous parts, I will leave a playlist link in the description and comment section. With that said, let's get into the video. After traveling for an hour on the bus, they arrive at the location and rest for a bit. Yuno grabs a cola and gives it to Yuki. On the other side, Aki goes to Yuki's house, but soon finds out he is not here. He meets up with Nishijima and explains the situation. As a young aspiring detective, Nishijima already knows Aki and trusts his skills. He shares the information he found in Kei's diary. In the diary, everything about the survival game was written, from rules to the number of players along with the ones whose identities have been revealed. It was also mentioned how Yuki has been targeted by every diary owner, so it's very likely that by following them, they can stop any future incidents. As of now, Nishijima knows both of them are headed to the mountains, but doesn't know the exact location. After thinking through the bus route they took in Yuno's thought process, Aki gets a clue where they might be. So the next day, along with others, he meets up with Nishijima at the town he suspects they are hiding. There, Nishima introduces himself as a police and shares about Yuki being currently held by Yuno. Everyone in a worried tone asks the reason she would do it. Nishijima doesn't disclose everything. He tells them it's Aki's hunch after he went to investigate Yuno's house. He requests their assistance in finding them, because if he uses the police, Yuno will get alerted and will run away. Soon, they begin searching the town. The reason Aki chose this town is because as per the route Yuno and Yuki took, this town is abandoned, so it's easier for Yuno to hide Yuki without leaving any witness behind. But because they need water and electricity, so they only have to find hotels that still have those. As everyone begins to search such hotels, they come across traps set up randomly by Yuno. Aki receives a call from Nishijima about a hotel which is owned by Yuno's family. On the other side, Hinata receives a mail from Yuki, requesting her to help him. She receives the location, and immediately heads there. Mao meets up with Aki and tells him what happened. Aki is suspicious because no matter what Yuki writes, Yuno will find out about it using her diary, so he believes it's a trap and Hinata is in danger. But just then, Mao receives a message from Hinata that she has found Yuki. Aki is still suspicious, but he also cannot sit idle. So after arriving at the hotel, they find a room in which Yuki is being tied up. Aki tries calling him, but Yuki doesn't respond. Thinking he might be unconscious, he goes inside the room with Mao, leaving Ko behind in case something goes wrong. As he enters the room, he soon finds out it's a dummy, and as Ko also enters the room, the door closes. Soon, the room starts getting filled with gas. The scene shifts to a room where Yuki is being held in. Even though his eyes are open, he doesn't have any reaction. Yuno has picked this hotel because it's her father's, meaning she has full access to it. From here, she can keep an eye on the diary owners and police if they attack them. Here, she is willing to spend their entire life together. Just then, Aki looks at the camera and tells Yuno about knowing the 2 skulls she has brought with her. Aki went back to her home and found out human remains of 3 bodies inside the hole. Surprisingly, 2 of them didn't have any skulls. Yuno becomes furious and yells at Aki for waking up her parents. Aki assures her he has given them a proper burial, but he is curious about the 3rd body. Aki threatens Yuno to release everyone, or else he'll inform the police. Yuno is amused to hear it, and cuts off the call. And now, the gas starts filling more quickly than before. Ko is freaking out. After the recent events, just like Yuki, he also started making a journal. Now on seeing his death, he starts writing his last message, but strangely, the diary upgrades, and welcomes him as the 8th diary owner. As he reads it, they find out the way to break free from this room. As they follow the diary's instructions, Yuno and Yuki's diary's future also starts to change. As Yuno picks it up to read it, Ko just barges inside the room. Yuki soon starts getting back to his senses, but still, he doesn't have any strength to speak. He starts to remember how he ended up here. After drinking the cola Yuno gave him, he fell unconscious, and after gaining back his consciousness, he tried getting away, but with Yuno here, he just couldn't. Back in the present, Ko tells Yuno to release everyone because according to his diary, he is going to succeed in it. Strangely, Yuno easily agrees to do so. She throws the operation panel's key towards him, and Ko uses it to unlock the room Aki and Mao are trapped in. But as he turns back, Yuno fires the crossbow. As she approaches to kill him, a new entry is made and she soon notices Yuki is freed. Yuki takes back the crossbow and slaps her. Since Yuno's diary only tells what Yuki does, he made Hinata kick the key Yuno dropped and freed himself. As Yuki starts untying Hinata, he is notified about 3 diary owners on their way to this hotel. Without any delay, he meets up with Aki and Mao. Yuno begs Yuki to not leave her alone because she cannot live without him, but Yuki gives her a pissed look and leaves the hotel. Nishijima picks them up. On the way, a car passes by in which there are the 3 diary owners. They notice Yuki but still doesn't turn back the car. Back in the hotel, Yuno gets ready and heads out to protect Yuki. The following day, Yuki meets up with others and shares after yesterday's meeting with Deus. It was revealed that the 8th diary owner can create multiple subsidiary owners using a server, and since there is only one real diary, destroying a subsidiary diary doesn't lead to their death. Just then, Yuki is notified about other diary owners coming to his home in 3 days. While Aki and others are forming a plan, Yuki has to stay at home and communicate via radio. At night, a lot of noise is coming from the kitchen, so with caution, Yuki goes to check. He is relieved to know it's his mother, and not Yuno. Ria has returned home to stay for a few days. As they start eating dinner, Yuki finds it weird to see there is too much food for 2 people. Ria tells him it was also for Yuno, but after preparing the dinner, she left. Yuki is scared as hell. After 2 days, Yuki is taken to Keio's house with police providing protection. As they enter the house, everyone is amazed to see how huge it is. The reason Aki chose this place is because it has a cell tower, meaning that if it's turned off, the 3 subsidiary owners will not be able to use the diary as they will lose their connection with the server, and then, it will be easier to take them down. As hours pass by, finally the police report the 3 targets breaching the mansion. Suddenly, the light is cut off, and now the remote to control the cell tower isn't working. Seeing the plan falling apart, Yuki begins to panic, wondering how anyone can know about their plan, but he soon notices it's Yuno who has returned. Yuno has cut off the electricity so only she can protect Yuki. With no other choice, Aki invites Yuno up. After tying her up, together with Ko, he goes to disable the cell tower. Soon, the 2 diary owners named Maru and Ahi enter. Maru is well versed in combat, and easily takes down Nishijima. And because his diary predicts the next move his opponent makes, he has a huge advantage. Realizing they have no chance of winning in combat, everyone goes to hide until the cell tower is disabled. But with Ahi's diary, she easily gets the location of any person she will flirt with in the future, so they quickly go to their location, and take down Mao and Hinata. Yuno pushes Yuki and quickly closes the door. Before they break the door, she requests Yuki to untie her, but Yuki refuses. After he truly wanted to marry her, Yuno locked him up and betrayed his feelings. Soon, Maru breaks the door. However, Aki has disabled the tower, so Maru and Ahi's diaries are disconnected. But despite this, they start laughing because they are also the 7th diary owners. Yuno tells Yuki she truly loves him and promises she'll never lock him up. Yuki finally unties the rope, and with it, Yuno grabs the knife. Maru and Ahi are lovers, so their diary shows the future of each other, meaning, this battle is to see whose love is stronger. Ahi throws her knife, but Yuno easily blocks it. And as Yuki praises her for it, Yuno becomes excited and keeps on blocking every knife. After all of the knives are emptied, Maru and Ahi retreat, and take away Mao and Hinata outside to treat their wounds. Suddenly, the whole house starts to lit up in fire. Afterwards, they enter the house. On the other side, as Yuki is escaping, he clarifies to Yuno that he still doesn't trust her, but Yuno doesn't mind it, because as long as she can be useful, it's enough to make her happy. All Yuki has to do is to command her, and she will do it for him. Soon, they have an encounter with Ahi and Maru. Yuno charges at them, but against their coordination, Yuno is taken down. Maru is furious to see him instead of protecting Yuno. It's Yuki who is being protected despite being a man. He takes his phone and furiously asks what kind of love is it. Yuki admits he is weak and that he has no other choice but to rely on Yuno. Maru with a disgusted look tells him to die, and throws him off the floor. After Yuno goes unconscious, we go back to 14 years ago. In the Sakurami Tower, Ahi was abandoned by her parents. She waited for hours but no one came. That day, she met Maru, who was also an orphan. As they grew up, no matter where Maru went, Ahi stayed close to him. At first, Maru didn't like how clingy Ahi was, but he still decided to spend time with her. As time passes by, Ahi eventually falls in love with him, but doesn't confess, and keeps holding on to her one-sided crush. However, in the school, some of the girls start believing Ahi and Maru are dating. And the fact Ahi pretends to be the unluckiest girl despite having a boyfriend, made them jealous and angry. So in order to teach her a lesson, they use Maru's name and call her to the abandoned factory. Ahi arrives, but on seeing Maru hasn't arrived yet, she messages him. Soon after, instead of Maru, a bunch of boys enter the factory. They were told by the girls about Ahi not having any parents, so it's fine for them to have their way with her. On the other side, Maru reads the message. He is confused and tries calling, but when Ahi doesn't respond, he begins to panic and rushes there. He arrives there, but it's too late. In anger, he beats everyone to a pulp and eventually kills them. After realizing what he has done and despite it, he wasn't able to protect Ahi. Maru tries to take his life, but Ahi stops him and begs him to not leave her like her parents. Maru apologizes and promises that from this day onwards, he will protect her and will never leave her side. Back in the present, Yuno and Yuki's diaries have been taken away, and they are currently being treated in a hospital. As per Aki's plan, Nishijima has invited Mirai, and a lie has been told to Yuki that Mirai knows a way to beat Maru and Ahi. Because this way, Maru, who has Yuki's diary, has been notified about this false information, and just to be cautious, he is not destroying the diary in order to gain more info. While Mirai takes care of Yuki's recovery, surprisingly, Yuki's father, Kuro, also visits the hospital. Someone told him his son was in hospital, so he came to check on him. As they start to spend time together, Yuki, who was earlier in the dark about their parents' divorce, finally gets to know that his father is in a huge debt, and because of this, he isn't able to return home. But Kuro promises Yuki that he is working on it, and will soon return home, so the whole family can watch the stars like he wanted. In the evening, while Yuki is still doing his recovery, at the hospital, Kuro is desperately searching for something. After he receives a call, we get to know that Kuro has been ordered by someone to destroy Yuki's cell phone in return for his debt to be paid off. Yuno happens to hear it. The following day, Nishijima arrives at an orphanage which is run by Uoshida, who is also the 8th diary owner. Suspecting the culprits behind destroying Ko's mansion are here, he has come to raid it. Back at the hospital, as Yuno is about to get rid of Kuro, Yuki stops her and asks what's gotten into her. Yuno shares what she heard yesterday, and that she believes the person ordered is the 11th diary owner. Yuki finds it absurd and doesn't believe Yuno. A few seconds later, Yuno is called up by Maru. After knowing Yuki's father knows the 11th diary owner, Maru threatens Yuno to bring him to the Sakurami Tower or he'll break their cell phones. Yuno returns to the room and explains, in return for Yuki's cell phone safety, they want Kuro to visit them. At first, Kuro is confused, but knowing the diary is with them, he agrees. Everything is according to Yuno's plan. She could have gotten rid of Kuro when she had the chance, but she purposefully acted in front of Yuki so Maru would be notified, and later, she could have a chance of retrieving their diaries along with getting rid of Kuro and the 7 diary owners. After they arrive, the moment Kuro approaches Maru, he is taken down. Now with no use of Yuki and Yuno's diary, before he breaks it, Maru challenges Yuki to a duel so he can beat him for being a weak man who has to rely on his girlfriend to protect him. Yuki, seeing his father knocked down, gets furious and charges with all his strength, but Maru easily grabs him and throws him away. Soon, Kuro gets up. He picks up Yuki's phone and breaks it. Yuki is in disbelief, but he doesn't die. Just then, Yuno comes charging at Ahi and snatches away the bouquet in which the real phones are. The first time Maru showed them the phone, Yuno realized they were fake because they had no scratches. Yuno gives the phone to Yuki and tells him, she is the only one he can trust. Kuro approaches Yuki and requests him to give the phone to him. He promises to gift him a much better phone once his debt is paid off. Yuki earlier believed that his father betrayed him, but now, he understands his father doesn't know about the future diaries. Just then, the building starts to shake heavily, and the floor beneath Yuki breaks, and he begins to fall. Both Yuno and Kuro rushes to save him. Yuno reaches in time and saves Yuki. However, Maru grabs Kuro and takes him away. Using the diary, Yuki finds out they are going to use a parachute to escape. In the Uoshida's orphanage, Nishijima is notified about the situation in the Sakurami Tower. He came here to search for the servers controlling the subsidiary diaries, but he wasn't able to find them. Back in the tower, Maru and Ahi are happy to see after such a long wait, they are finally married. After arriving at the top floor, Yuno is standing in front. Then, Yuki's voice comes saying he is hiding because he is weak, so now Yuno will take care of the fight. Maru is pissed and charges at Yuno. He dodges her knife and kicks her. He takes her phone and gets to know Yuki's location. Maru goes to the room but finds out Yuki is not there. It's because the diary he has is a fake one, meaning that Ahi is now in danger. As he goes out to warn her, Yuki throws his dart and misses, but Yuno kills her. Soon the building starts to collapse. Just then, Kuro snatches away the parachute and escapes, leaving Yuki in complete shock. Ria was earlier called by Nishijima about Yuki being stuck in the tower, so she came. On seeing Kuro in the parachute, she confronts him, demanding to know where Yuki is. Kuro doesn't want to admit he ran away like a loser and left his son dying, so he tells Ria he doesn't know about anything and insists her to let him go. But when Ria doesn't, Kuro begins to panic. The scene shifts back inside the building. After the roof collapses, Yuno, Yuki, and Ahi are stuck under a concrete block. Despite being stuck, Ahi is glad to know Maru is safe and can live on. But Maru isn't going to abandon Ahi. He keeps making the way despite being heavily injured. It's hard for him to lift the concrete blocks, so Yuki helps him and asks Yuno to help too. But Yuno doesn't want to, or else they will lose Ahi as their hostage. Yuki asks her if she really loves him, or if she is just a psychopath. He wants to trust her, but if she keeps ignoring what he says then it's hard for him. Yuno drops the knife and helps. After making it outside, Maru holds Ahi in his arms. He gives the parachute to Yuki and tells him to take care of the girl who loves him. After this, together with Ahi, he dies. Yuki and Yuno successfully land, but Nishijima comes and gives an unfortunate news about Ria's death. At night, Yuki is sitting in his room, devastated to accept the reality. He tries asking Deus to bring back his mother, but Deus refuses. His life is soon going to end, and if the next god is not chosen before it, this whole universe will be destroyed. After Deus leaves, Murmur tells Yuki the only way to bring back his mother is by becoming a god. Back in the human world, Yuki gets to know it's his father who killed his mother. He confronts him, and tells him to turn himself in. But Kuro laughs and asks if he has any proof of him doing so. Yuki notices a receipt from a pawn shop and wonders what it is. He decides to follow him to see if he can be led to any proof. The next day, Nishima interrogates Yuno about the third body found at her home, but Yuno doesn't answer and leaves, so now, Nishijima has to wait until the DNA report comes in. On the other side, Yuki wakes up a bit late and goes straight to the pawn shop. He manages to find Kuro and sees him getting in a car heading to the shrine. Yuki follows him, and as soon as he arrives, he snatches away the bag to see what's inside. There, he notices it's a telescope. Kuro has decided to turn himself in. Just before that, he wanted to make things right. He came here to ask for forgiveness, and after that, he was planning to return the telescope to Yuki that he pawned. Kuro promises Yuki that once he is done serving, he'll get a proper job to start over. Yuki forgives his father, but on the way, a static noise comes and Kuro gets stabbed by a guard. Soon after, other guards surround Yuki and try to attack him. Yuki in anger eliminates them one by one using his diary. Soon after, Yuno also arrives. Yuki finally decides to become a god and eliminate every diary owner. While pointing the knife at Yuno, he threatens to kill even her. Yuno kisses Yuki. She wants to die by his hands, but before that, she wants him to use her until the very end. But that's where the video ends. I will be dropping the final part soon, so make sure to like and to subscribe to not miss out. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time.